Okay, hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. We're in week 6-3. I want name, date, and period. All right, so let's take a look at these. Hopefully you drew these up. They're not that hard. This one wants volume and surface area. So let's take a look at that first. Well, to get volume, you just multiply the length times the width times the height. That's it. So the front of this is 4 times 5. And then times the height, which we'll call this the height here, even though it may not be. But there it is. So this is 20 times that, add a 0. That's 200 square inches. Actually cubic, because it's volume. Okay? So it's the front, 4 times 5, times the height, 10. Or the distance from here to here. To get surface area, you have to draw a net. So let's think about this. So you have 4 times 5, that's the front. But the back is the same. So we're going to multiply that by 2. Plus, you have the right side here, which is 10 times 4. I'll move that 4 over there. So this right side is 10 times 4, but you have the left side as well, so times 2. And then finally you have the bottom, or the top. The bottom is 5 times 10, and then times 2, because the top is the same. Now if the box was open, you wouldn't use 2 of these. So you get your calculator out and add all that up. And that's surface area, that's going to be square inches. So this is 20 times 2 makes 40 for that one. This one is 40 times 2 makes 80 for that one. This is 50 times 2, that makes 100. This is 120 plus 100. I'm going to say 220. Any questions on how to do surface area of the box? Again, you have the front, which is the same as the back. The right side, which is the same as the left side. All right, let's keep moving. This one right here, they don't tell you that it's a right triangle, so Pythagorean's theorem would be out. But what they tell you is they're similar. That means the sides are proportional, okay? So this one is 6 over 9. 6 over 9 reduces. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So this is called the scale factor. Write that down, okay? So they want the perimeter of this one, so we need this one right here. So you're going to set it up. You have the small one over the big one. That's your scale factor, equals the small one over the big one. See, we need this side right here. So that's going to be 24 divided by 3, which equals 8. So x is equal to 8. And then you add it all up. So perimeter equals 10 plus 6 plus 8. This is 14, and 10 makes 24 inches. And that's how you do that. It's kind of tricky, but that's how you do it. So you use the scale factor, and you find the missing side. Just be consistent. If you put the small one over the big one, then you have to put the small one over the big one. Okay? Well, let's go up here. Remember the metric system? So it's Kim hit Dave before Dave caught me. And this is millimeters, so that would be right here. And you want to go up to meters, which is the base. So you're going to move it 1, 2, 3 to the left. Your decimal is here. So 3 to the left is going to be 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 0.004. Okay? If you go to the right, you would move the decimal to the right. All right, and then this one right here, you draw a big gallon and you put 4 quarts in there. And then each one of these has 2 pints. Okay? And there's 2 cups and a pint. So the question is, how many cups are in 2 pints? Well, this is 2 pints, so that's 2 plus 2. I'm going to say 4 cups. And remember, there's 8 ounces in a cup. So 4 times 8 is 32. That's 32 ounces in a quart. All right, let's keep moving. Today's work, we're going to do the distance formula. Copy this diagram down. Okay, in order to work the distance formula, and I want you to write that out, this is the topic. So if someone says, what's the topic? There it is, the distance formula. All right, so you want to find the distance from here to here. And there's a formula. So write this down. Distance equals okay, just like that. Now you got to know where this point is. Remember, you always start from the origin. So you got to go to the right, 2, and up, 1. This one you have to go to the right, 0, right 5, and then down 3. So right 5, but down 3. Okay? These points have to be right, or you're not going to get it right. All right, at this point, your x's are first. So you use your x's. So it's going to be 2 minus 5 squared plus, and then you go in the same direction, 1 minus a negative 3 squared. And then it's the square root of that. So this is going to be negative 3 squared plus, this becomes a plus, and that becomes 4 squared. When you square a negative, it becomes a positive. So that's 9 plus 16, which equals the square root of 25, which equals 5. And that's the distance. Okay? Now I want you to try one. Draw this diagram. Find the distance from A to B. Okay, so to do that, this is a negative 3 up 1. And this one is over 4 up so many, 3. Okay, so it's x minus x. So it's negative 3 minus 4, and then y minus y, 1 minus 3 squared. This is a negative and a negative, but you got to add them because the signs are the same. So that's a negative 7 squared. This is a negative 2 squared. So this becomes 49 plus 4, which equals the square root of 53. And then you use your calculator. So get your calculators out. Remember, if you don't have one, you lose points, okay? So I'm going to hit square root of 53. And I get 7.3. Today you have a worksheet which looks like this. And I gave you the answers, but you have to show work. If you do not show work, guess what? You do not get credit. If you're sitting at home or you can't find a worksheet in the folder, you can copy it from the video. Okay, there's your worksheet for today. All right. Now we're going to turn our attention now to college algebra. Okay, so let's talk about this. We're in week 6-3, name, date, and period. And this is on the board, okay? All right, so let's talk about these. use a calculator. So grab your calculator, clear it out. Okay? Now you want to do the fourth root. Now that might be underneath the, first go to Math Key, and then go down to like number 11. Right there. Press enter. Okay? So we want base 2, so put a 2, and then hit 3 o'clock. And we want the fourth root. So go to the Math Key again, and we want this one, number 5. So go down to number 5, press enter, and we want to put a 4 right there, and then advance it, and then put an 8. Make sure you can do that for your test. I get 0.75. Let's try the next one. Press the Math Key, go down, press enter, put a 6, and then go forward, go to the Math Key, and go down to the cubed root, which is number 4. Okay, once you get that, put 1, I would use parentheses, 1 divided by 6, close parentheses. I get negative 0.3 repeating. Okay, make sure you can use your calculator. This one right here says to expand it. I would put, remember the natural log is e right here. I would put the natural log of t to the 1/3 power, and then I would move this exponent, and I would write 1/3 of the natural log of t, and that would be expanded. Okay? Today we're going on to a new section. Copy these down. This is 5.4. Okay, well they want us to solve these. Okay, now to solve these, what you're going to do here is, you're going to say 2 to what power is 32? So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. So it's going to be 2 to the x power equals 2 to the 5th power. And now that you have the same base, it's a 1-to-1 property, so x equals 5. And you're done. Any questions on that? This one right here, you're going to first move this one over. So you're going to say the natural log of x equals the natural log of 3. Now remember, this is base e, and I'm going to write it in. And then I'm going to raise both sides exponentially like that, and then this cancels. And this cancels. So I get x equals 3. Okay, make sure you understand that. Put a star by that one if you need to. This one right here is a 1. I'm going to move it up. So I'm going to say 3 to the negative x. And then this one is 3 squared. It's 9. I have the same base, so I say negative x equals 2, x equals negative 2, and I'm done. 1-to-1 property. Copy down the rest of these. All right, let's take a look at this right here. This one right here, we're going to raise it. It's exponential, okay? So what we're going to do is raise it, both sides, to the natural log of e. Natural log of e. Okay? Now, what happens here is this cancels. So you get x equals the natural log of 7. And then you use your calculator. Okay? To use your calculator, you got the natural log right here. So you would say the natural log of 7, close your parentheses. I get 1.9. Okay? Let's try this one. This one right here is the natural log. Remember, that's the natural log of e, base e, like this. So we're going to raise it exponentially like that. So this cancels. So you get x equals e to the negative 3. Remember, e is 2.71, I think. So look here, here's your key. So right here, where the division sign is, so you're going to hit Shift, E, and then you're going to raise it to the negative 3 power. Make sure you press the negative sign. I get 0.049. Get your calculator and make sure you can do that. Let's go on to E, this one right here. Well, again, this is the natural log of e to the x, and it might help you to write that. We're going to raise it exponentially like this. This cancels. So you get x equals e to the negative 3, and I guess I just did that one. So let's go to this one. This one right here is the log base 10 of x. And you might want to put that base in there, even though it's understood. We're going to raise it exponentially like this. This cancels. So you get x equals 10 to the negative 1, and then you drop that down. So it's 1 over 10. Okay? And the last one is right here. So for this one right here, what I'm going to do is raise it exponentially since the base is 3, like that. This cancels. So I get x equals 3 to the 4th power, whatever that equals. And that should be 81. Okay? That's example 1. Let's go to example 2. Copy that down. Here you have the same base. So you're going to set that equal to that one. I'm going to move this over and get 0 equals x squared. And then I'm going to factor this. So I get x. 1 times 4 is 4. I want a negative, so I'm going to put it with the bigger one. And then a plus here. So I get x plus 1 equals 0. X equals a negative 1 when you move it over. X minus 4 equals 0, and I move that over, and I get x equals 4. And I'm done. And there it is. One more example. Copy this one down. They want you to solve this. So what you do first is divide by 3. And actually this, I think this is written like this. So rewrite it. Or scratch that out. We're going to divide by 3. So when you divide by 3, you get 2 to the x power equals, 3 goes into 4 one time with 1 left over. 3 goes into 12 14 times, I guess it is. Okay? So at this point, on example 3, we're going to use the natural log of 2 here, or the log of 2, like that, and then the log of 2 here. So this cancels. So you get x equals the log base 2 of 14. Okay? And what you could do is change that to change of bases and put the 14 and 2 as the natural log of 14 over the natural log of 2. And then use your calculator. Either way, when you use your calculator, you should get 3.8. Okay, one more. I would subtract the 5 and get e to the x power equals 55. Okay? Now this is e, so I'm going to use the natural log of e, base e. And then this cancels. So I get x equals the natural log of 55. On your calculator, it's 4.007. Today's work is right here. If you get stuck, remember, check your answers, and then you can ask me if you need to. Have a good morning.